Dear friends, good day and welcome to another session of EU Business Talks. As usual, we are starting 2 minutes past the hour, and this is entirely my fault. You know, the music was so great, I wanted to extend this music a little bit. But reality is here. Once again, most welcome. My name is Ante Milevoy, and I'm welcoming you all on behalf of the whole team. And our guest today, Mr. Rumen Iliev, partner at LAUNCHUB Ventures from Sofia, Bulgaria. Rumen, good day to you too. Most welcome.
Good day. Thank you for the invitation. It's my honor to be here, and thank you for spending the time during the hottest day of the summer with me. I hope it will be worth it. Yeah.
I'm sure it will be, but let me start first with the crucial question. What's the temperature in Sofia?
It's probably 35 outside. The expectation is to go to 38. So in Celsius, it's quite hot. The hottest day of the summer. This is what they say. I mean, next week I expect them to say that this will be the hottest week of the summer.
So there you go, friends. Just an ordinary day in Sofia and in many other cities in Europe and elsewhere. We have to survive it. Well, anyway, Rumen, thanks again for being with us. Dear friends, I want to introduce you, Rumen, first of all, and to read a little bit from our invite that you already seen. Rumen is coming from LAUNCHUB Ventures. Company is a 70 million euro early stage venture fund focused on investing into technology companies in Southeast Europe, starting from 2012. Their portfolio of companies is already transforming enterprise software, financial services, property, healthcare, e-commerce, productivity, and much more. Rumen in particular is a generalist focused on making investment, working with portfolio companies on growth, funding, and exits. Rumen holds an MC in finance from the University of Economics in Prague and MBA from Bled School of Management, Slovenia. Rumen, very impressive. If I start with the latest piece of paper you got in Bled, so my first question is, what is your relation to Slovenia then?
I'll explain. So it's funny, you know, I actually went for a master degree in the Czech Republic because unfortunately the education, the economical education in Bulgaria is not at the level where it deserves to do a master degree here. And my resources back then were limited. So obviously, either you're very smart, which I wasn't, or you're rich enough to be able to pay your education in the Western countries. I guess my family resources managed to brought me to the Czech Republic, where the education was free of charge, and the price level was comparable to Bulgaria. And I very much appreciated the Czech University. Unfortunately, this was a long time ago. This was in the years 2001, 2002, 3, 4, 5. And back then, the administration of the university have this notion with them that, it's good that we send people to Erasmus program and, science program and European programs, but it's not really a good idea to send foreigners there because they'll take the places of the Czech students, right? So it proved to be a bit difficult for me to actually benefit fully from the international programs of the university. And then I said, well, what can I do, in my summer days as a student, still to get some benefit in this, cross-country options that people start having then in the early 2011, 2012, 2013. And then I saw that somehow I can apply for the Bled School of Management, Discover Management Summer Program without actually discussing it with the administration of the Economic University in Prague. So this brought me to Bled. I enjoy very much the school and the summer program. Then I came a few years after that when I actually started my career. And finally, during the great financial crisis in 2009, 2010, I was let go of my employment back then with a good severance package. And I said, okay, how to invest the money? Let's go study. And that was a good option because I already knew the school. So I had the pleasure to enjoy Slovenia. I had the pleasure to enjoy Bled.
Okay,
And
so it's not.
after Bled, actually, I become a consultant, and then we started LAUNCHUB Venture back in 2012.
Okay, Rumen, wait a little bit. Just sorry to interrupt you. You are going straight forward, which is fine. But before we go there, I want to ask you, okay, you are sitting in Sofia. Can you share with us a little bit of the current shape of Bulgarian economy before we enter your particular business?
Sure.
What would you say?
Sure. Bulgaria deserves its place to be the last in terms of economic development in the European Union.
Straightforward.
Yeah, and there are several factors that unfortunately predetermine this place. The biggest factor is corruption, and the second is are factors like growth and transformation of the economy. It's very difficult to escape this circle without really doing some major change. So at this moment in Bulgaria, the situation is from the economic perspective uncertain because the political scene is changing. So we had an election, the new government is unable to be somehow established. The parties are not really agreeing to work together at this very moment. But the positive thing about this is that finally the corruption issue is widely addressed. So I'm very positive that at least on the legislative level, the corruption will become more visible, it will be more addressed. We are also unfortunately suffering here from high corruption in the judicial system, which really prevents the foreign business, or actually increase the bar for a foreign business to enter Bulgaria. And I hope this will be tackled in the next 5 years. So the economic climate should improve. At least the society grew to a level of understanding that this issue should be addressed.
Okay, I appreciate your view on that, because many would use this opportunity to do an extra PR, but it seems you are doing a really reality check of the economy. I thank you for that.
It's a nice place. It's safe from this perspective. It's a good place to do business, but the economic environment hopefully will improve. So I think we are starting the process now. Up to now, it wasn't so good. And I hope the process will go in the right direction.
Okay, let's go to the further, Rumen, to your company, or yeah, you are partner of the company, so I can say your company. So what LAUNCHUB Venture is about, beside the things I have just read? So you are active for 10 years or so. You're active in the area of Southeast Europe with investing this way or that way. What more can you add?
So we define Southeast Europe between Slovenia and Moldova. So this is
okay.
Southwest Slovenia, Northeast Moldova is for Southeast Europe. I guess this most probably is not the correct definition of the region, since we are excluding some countries this way. But at the end of the day, this is our mandate. So these are the countries where we have established a brand name and where we actually invest. Currently, LAUNCHUB Ventures is probably one of the largest early stage investors in terms of venture capital in this region. Venture capital is, well, we invest, let's say, between 300,000 up to 3-4 million euro in technology businesses that don't really have a business plan. So they don't really know, what the next 3 years will be. We don't even ask for this. If we get like 12 months projection, we're like quite impressed. We invest in technology businesses that are sometimes even not set up as a business, so a group of individuals, starting something. Sometimes we invest, of course, in more mature companies, meaning that this we can already see traction, we can already see customer base, we can already see growing demand for the product. But most of the businesses we invest in, they're product businesses, not a service business. So it's not an outsourcing. It's not something that requires, service business, something scalable, and a product that can be sold internationally. So Southeast Europe is too small to sell between the small countries in this region. So
how do you find new targets, or do they find you?
More and more, no, they don't find us so much. So I know that it may sound very lucrative to be an investor, and to sit on a pile of money. But actually, the reality is quite different. We actually sell money, simply like the banks, but we get equity. So if I invest $1 million, I'll try to get 15% of your company. So, and I have to sell this, money is commodity. So there are many other people out there every day, more and more, doing the same thing, because currently money is really available commodity. And then we need to differentiate. First of all, we need to scout the investments, be there first if possible, and then add smart element, or actually some added value next to the pure cash that we deploy. So LAUNCHUB can be actually a preferred partner to the company, not some other fund. Most of the cases we cooperate, so within the whole Southeast region and outside, we also co-invest with other venture capital firms. So it's not really that nowadays we take one deal for us, we share, and then our job is to secure more money. Usually companies that are growing, they sacrifice profitability for growth. And we don't really want to see profitability. On the contrary, we would like to see growth because the resources are available. So when we enter a company, we're able to deploy up to 7 million in this company. And our job is to secure more money through contacts, connections, and so on. And hopefully help the company not to fail or repeat some of the mistakes we've seen from our portfolio, and help with contacts and networks that sometimes early stage entrepreneurs miss. They simply don't have them developed yet.
Okay, fair enough. Rumen, I have already 4 questions in advance, dear friends. I will start with this, and of course you can also include yourself via chat.
Would you like to talk for a few minutes how we make decisions? Maybe this is a bit different from how the usual investors, on stock markets.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Because this could be maybe useful for the audience. So venture capital is really business of making a good feeling investments, if you like, to put it this way. It's very early stage. Sometimes the companies have just few customers. So now currently we are finalizing a round in a Romanian company. It will be 2 million round. The company is really making 10,000 per month. I mean, it's really nothing from 20 customers. So to justify this and to basically justify the whole model of venture capital, you have to understand that if we invest in a company at currently the valuation of around 10 million, let's say, or 5 million, and we exit the company at the valuation of $1 billion or more, we return the whole fund with a 10x profit from our investors, from one company actually only. We don't need to be right. If we're going to make 25 investments, we need to be right only once or twice to make a big profit. So it's expected that half of the investments will not be successful. Now, what is really how we really think about investing is that since the return is so exponential, we have to make bets in our job that can really bring such returns. So when we see a company, we're asking ourselves how big this can become. If they have a tailwind, and they have money, and they have a bit of luck. So how big this business can be? Are they pursuing a big enough vertical? So if somebody of your friends is like asking about, hey, what do you think? Maybe we can get a venture money or venture capital money for our business. If the business is like bound to a specific country and the market is small and you cannot really project hundreds of millions or billions outcome of the business as a valuation, then the venture capitals will be skeptical to invest, because at the end of the day, I prefer to make 3 wrong choices and then make 1 right instead of making safe bets. So the size of the market, or the potential size of the market, because venture capital is investments for a 10-year horizon. We invest in small companies that will grow big in the next 10 years. So the market sometimes is not there yet. I mean, self-driving cars, we don't see them on the street, but they are supposedly, coming. Drones, we still don't see them flying, but they're coming. So basically, we try to assess what this market will look like in the next 5 years. Let's say. Now, that's kind of obvious. Now, the second obvious thing, of course, is the team. So since we're not able to bet on the established numbers and financial projections based on some historical data and stable pipelines, we need to bet on the people. To judge the people, of course, it's not so trivial, but it goes through references. So that's why experiences in the region like Slovenia helps, because you have points of references. This means that when we look at Slovenian company, we have many people in Slovenia to call. and when we see that this company is connected to somebody we know, and hopefully we trust, then we call and ask, hey, what's your experience with them? What your experience, if it's a past, can you connect us with some of their past employers? Can we get a sense of their business partners? Are they happy? Are they unhappy? Are they fair? This also kind of sounds obvious. It's a bit difficult to judge, but I think that from the team perspective, the ability to execute is the most important thing. It's not the idea.
Ability to exit, you say?
To execute, yes. So it's basically, if you're able to execute, you'll be able to be better than your competitors. If you just have a great ideas, everybody has great ideas, Now, the third important thing in our decision making next to market and team is actually timing. So that's why I would like to stress on timing here, because this is probably something you may not consider when you do investments, and we actually consider it as one of the most important factors. There is a time for everything and season for everything. It's a quote from the Bible, I think, and it's really true in investments in technology. If let's say we invest in a company too early, the customers are not buying, they need to be educated. So we will spend a lot of resources educating the market that somebody else will take after us.
In-house, Rumen, or you are taking some...
I mean, I'll give you an example of a company too early. So Pound Computers, if you remember Pounds, now I'm taking notes on a tablet, but Pounds were too early, If we invest too late, the market is full of competitors. So it will be very difficult to compete in such markets. So Windows Mobile, if you remember, they were in Windows Mobile with Windows operating system. This was a late entry in a crowded market, or Google plus social media. So when we look at a particular company, we always try to see, okay, assuming this will be a great market and we have a good team, are they on time to really catch the wave? Because the wave will actually make few global companies. They'll make probably 2 or 3 global companies in each vertical. So it's really important, this timing. And if you're considering investment of your own, I'll suggest you ask the following question to the potential team. Why now is the best time to invest? Why the problem you're solving hasn't been solved 3 years ago? If they have a credible answer, and that's a very difficult question, then this really can probably help you decide, And the fourth element, of course, in our decision-making is traction, what they have achieved so far and how the company is growing, which is visible from the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for this overlook. You've answered many questions here on my list with that already. It is 20 past the hour on my watch, Rumen, so we have to be short and sweet from now onwards. I'll put the questions on. You do your best to
Sure.
to the point, to shoot it out, the answers. So the first one in particular, what are your experience with investing with venture capital with Slovenian companies? Is it in general positive one or medium?
Slovenians are the most entrepreneurial from the Southeast Europe. And they're also well educated. So it's actually highly positive. We did probably 6 investments in Slovenia so far. I think at one point we were considered the most active actually investor in Slovenia. The last investor in Slovenia is in crypto. It's called Cryptomat. Actually, is the way to buy digital currencies.
Okay.
The team is Slovenian, based in Serbia is the development, and the licenses are from Estonia. So it's kind of a European company, but it started half of the team, or even more of the half of the team are Slovenians. We also have investment that is doing quite well from the previous fund, and this is Mediateli or Modra Jagoda. So they're actually probably their applications for doctors. The doctors check contradictions of drugs and prescriptions, how to prescribe, and this helps them to prescribe drugs. And the application is actually used in 10 countries in Europe. and they have monthly usage for about more than 120,000 medical professionals use the app monthly. Daily usage or weekly usage is about 40 to 60,000 of medical professionals. So it's kind of a very useful app for doctors. And this is a Slovenian company. Now they're expanding to Western Europe, and I really hope that they'll be successful. We have invested in medical devices that actually have been good innovation, but not selling so successfully. And I've realized that Slovenians, they have the advantage. They don't think internally, right? They don't think about selling to Slovenian market. They think externally, right? And with the Romanians, it's like, oh, maybe we can sell it first in Romanian. And so from the mentality perspective, Slovenians are really, really entrepreneurial. Okay. Baltics is the other region which is very different Europe.
So again, compliments then for fellow Slovenians, I guess.
Yeah.
Next one. Yeah. What is your expected internal rate of return? A good one.
Yeah. So currently, our expectation is to return the fund hopefully 3 times. This will put us in an expected rate of return for, depending on the duration of the fund, put like 10 years. So hopefully above 20%. Yeah. Currently, our first fund is have returned about 70% cash on cash, and we're about 2x on the valuation of the portfolio, which is unexited. For example, Mediatel is from the first fund. The second is about 1.8 on the valuation of the portfolio and just 30% return, but we started it 5 years ago. So the venture funds have 5 years investment horizon and then 5 years divestment horizon, meaning for the 10 years, sometimes 12, which is if it's early stage. If we manage to bring the return to above 3x, we'll be very happy.
Okay.
The best funds return 10x, but that's have to be really good and lucky, I guess.
Fair enough. Let me go now to the chat box. Again, Rumen, we have to be really short on this. But before I do that, Primož, my friend over here, can you turn off the air conditioner? Because otherwise I will be in snow in 10 seconds. Thank you. So the first question that I see, can you move a little bit up, Primož? Primož is my back office guy, just so you know, dear friends. And okay, the first one, very short, Rumen. Do you have any plans to invest in Africa? Africa is tabula rasa for you? Or?
No, we can't. We have basically the people who give us money to manage are private investors, 50%, and then the other half is European Investment Fund and International Financial Corporation, so IFC, part of the World Bank. So with IFC it's okay, but European Investment Fund prefers to keep the focus Europe and Southeast Europe in particular is our fund. So we are actually 75% focused on Southeast Europe and 25% for Europe in general. Unfortunately, Africa is outside.
The next one is from Jernej. US test bet directly related with Walmart and Walton Family Foundation is looking for B2B startup from CE for pilots, a vehicle to increase value for portfolio startups. How can they get in touch with you?
So I guess the best way is email. I'll just type it here.
I will do that on behalf of Jernej and everyone else as a follow-up email. Martin is with us from France. Hi, Martin. Again, nice to see you. He's looking for investors such as venture capital. Okay, will you be going to invest in Africa? That's an answer no already. Got a 4 to 5 billion railway project and so on. Are you flexible on these ideas, or when you say no, it's no?
Yeah, no, it's not. So we're actually IT focused, so railway is outside.
Luca is with us from Rome, Italy. Hi, Luca. What are the eventual reasons why you would invest in a service company? Yeah, good point. You say you prefer products.
We don't. So the problem is scalability. So if you have a restaurant and you need to have a second restaurant, you need to hire a cook and you need to hire waitresses. This means services. So it's not so scalable as having one mobile app, develop it once, sell it across the world. It's simply putting the cost once and increasing and having scalability on the revenue side. So we don't invest in service companies, but we do invest in enterprise product companies that sometimes to basically, they have a significant portion of revenue coming from services that are related to implementation of products sometimes, at the beginning especially. But service is really not a focus because of scalability.
Okay. Simona is with us from Ljubljana. Hi, Simona. Do you invest in companies or also even before pre-seed phase?
Yes, we do.
You do.
We can start very early.
Okay. Rumen is also with us, sharing his email. Thank you, Rumen. Vinayak is with us from India. At the time of exit of investments, are you looking at investors from outside of Europe? Yeah, it's a good question.
So follow-up investments in our companies happen either from European funds or American funds at this point. So most of the follow-up money in the big rounds come from UK or US. So currently we had a 51 million euro follow-up round in investments we did in Romania that came from Draper Split in Great Britain, in UK. Another company from our previous fund, for example, GTM Hub, that it's providing probably the best software for OKR, subjective key results, got investment 30 million from inside partners as follow-on. So most of the big checks that are like in 30, 50, and 100 millions are coming from US. Sometimes from UK, smaller checks, meaning like the 10s to 20 million Series A, they're coming from Europe. But Europe is really, we still don't have this large venture capital funds that invest really in hundreds of millions.
Okay.
Very rare. So most.
Sorry to interrupt you one again. Since the question is coming from India, are you having any past activity with India or?
No.
Okay. Going further to Danilo, he's asking about tourism, again, service in Bulgaria. Do you do any business investments in tourism?
We do. They're not in Bulgaria.
This is service again?
No, not service. So we have, for example, ferry hopper in Greece, buying ferry tickets in the Mediterranean Sea. We have one in Austria, which is Czech Yeti, so booking ski instructors in the Alps and also summer activities. They were very severely hit during the COVID crisis, but now recovering, hopefully. At least for ferry hopper, we invested during the COVID crisis, but we stuck enough money for them to survive until the summer of next year. So we are fine with that. The tourism so we have a thesis, all right? The thesis is like, will the COVID change something in tourism? No. The people will not going to travel over Zoom. They'll just start traveling immediately the COVID is over. Do we have enough resources to keep the company afloat and alive for several years? Yes, we do. So let's invest. Yeah.
Okay. We are entering last 2 minutes. Dear friends, I have many more questions. Can you go a little bit up? Thank you. Franz is asking, what is the minimum volume of investment? Do you have any policy on that?
I'm not sure I understand the question. What is the, let me see whether...
minimum volume of investments. Do you have any internal rules?
Yeah, we can, no, we don't have a minimum, but basically deploying to less than 300,000 euros it's too early, so we prefer not to be so early. We prefer to leave other investors take this very early stage. We've been there with the previous funds, so we try to be in this. On average, our investment is 1.5 million euro from us in a 2.5 million euro round.
Okay. Cenk is with us from Turkey. They have a new wastewater treatment project. Are you interested in such kind of green environment projects, Rumen?
Yes and no. So we started looking very much into sustainability and environment, and this is really big agenda, and I think many opportunities will be open there. Unfortunately, Turkey is not a country we really have a know-how how to invest. We tried before, too much money in Turkey, too many good government programs to substitute early stage projects, so we never actually established a brand in Turkey. So no, not really.
Philo is with us from Malta. Hi, Philo. So nice to see you again. Do you have any priority sectors for investments? Can you repeat that, Rumen, just quickly?
Generalist fund. So we look at technology and digital as such. Mostly we see businesses in PropTech, property technologies, in financial technologies, sometimes in blockchain. We see a lot of companies that are actually software as a service or hardware as a service business. Usually companies B2B. Because Southeast Europe is not really famous for their B2C brands, so business to consumer brands. B2C brands we do usually in UK or in a bigger hubs. In Southeast Europe, we see mostly B2B companies. So B2B and technology would be the shortest answer.
Okay. Meti is with us, giving you her best regards, Rumen. He is in patent attorney business. The last question I see is from Lisa. Have you ever invested or have any experience in investing in tech companies?
So we invested, for example, in the biggest K-12 educational platform in Bulgaria, currently highly profitable business, expanding in the neighboring countries. EdTech is of interest to us, yes. So
okay. Blerta is with us from Pristina, Kosovo. Are you interested in applying for joint projects with EU funds projects in Kosovo?
Kosovo is a country we can invest. We haven't spotted a good investment opportunity there. We are actually staying away from EU funds and projects because they waste time. And I think the time is the most precious resource for any entrepreneur. So we give them $1 million, they spend it for 10 to 18 months. And if they waste time to get some more money, I mean, we can give them more money. So, okay. I mean, European project consumes a lot of time and reporting. So we try to stay away from that.
Oh my goodness, it's 2 minutes past the hour. So this will be the last question, if you agree, Rumen. From Mateja, what is your usual stage when you invest? Pre-seed, seed, ABC round?
We call ourselves seed investors. For us, seed is everything between 300,000 and 4 million euros. So short answer is we are pre-Series A round, but we also have a thesis that Southeast European founders don't have enough seed resources to bridge to a good Series A round. That's why I invest multi-million seed rounds, if you like.
Perfect. Rumen, you were just quick and to the point. I thank you for that very much. I give you the last 20 seconds to say to our friends whatever it is on your mind.
Thank you again for the invitation here. I don't want to waste more of your time. If you think there is a good venture opportunity, of course, I'll be happy to look at it. If you would like to connect on LinkedIn, I'll be happy to do so. And let's see how our businesses will cross path and where we can help one another.
Okay, thank you, Rumen. Dear friends, you'll get once again a nice follow-up email with all contact details from Rumen. I wish to say especially most welcome to our regular guest, Katsue-san from Tokyo. Greetings to you as well in particular. But the next Tuesday, 2 p.m., I'll be happy to host Taavi Rovas from Estonia. See you next week. And thank you very much all. Bye-bye.
Bye.